we're going to take a look at a few more examples from the video that you just watched. So this first one, we are told that we have two congruent triangles. So remember, that means all of the corresponding sides and angles are congruent. So the first thing they tell us is we have information regarding angle Y and angle M, and we have to go and find angle X. So first of all, let's go ahead and draw out some triangles. Let's go down here and draw them. So we have triangle X, Y, Z, and we have triangle K, L, M. So the first thing we have is angle Y is equal to 67 degrees, and we know that angle M is equal to 48 degrees. I'm going to kind of follow along with the specific notes that I got from your textbook as well. So the first thing they want you to be thinking about is the triangle sum theorem, which says the measure of angle X, Y, and Z have to equal 180 degrees. It says the measure of angle Z is equal to blank. Well, the measure of angle Z corresponds with angle M. And again, go back and take a look at that congruent statement. Here is Z and here is M. They're in the same location, so they have the same measure. So that means this angle is equal to 48 degrees. And now we're going to go ahead and do some substitution. So we know the measure of angle Y was 67. We know the measure of angle Z was 48. And now we really just have an algebraic equation to solve. So 67 and 48 end up giving us 115. We're going to subtract that from 180, and eventually we end up with the measure of angle X is equal to 65 degrees. Which also means the measure of angle K is equal to 65 degrees. And then I added one extra question with respect to the same triangle. We've been told the measure of XY is equal to 2x plus 2, and we're given the measure of KL is equal to 20. And again, if you go back and look at the congruent statement, XY are in the first and second location. KL are in the first and second location with respect to their triangles, so their measurements are equal. We're going to set 2x plus 2 equal to 20, and we're going to solve. Okay, let's go on to number 6. It says finding congruent triangles. They want us to determine whether we can conclude the two triangles are congruent. So at this point, the only way that we can prove congruent triangles is all of their sides have to be the same and all of their angles have to be the same. So first thing I'm noticing is I'm looking at AB compared to CD. So we're going to check AB is equal to C to D, and I'm thinking there might be a typo in here. So let's actually go and flip it. So what I'm looking at is AB is 3 units, and really it looks as though the corresponding segment with that is ED. So what I'm noticing is A to B is equal to C to D, and they are both 3 units. Then I'm noticing that BC is equal to DC, and both of those are 4 units. Then with respect to the third side, they've given me at least that tick mark, but don't forget we could also go and use Pythagorean's theorem and actually find that length. I'm going to label it to be x. So I could go and check x squared is equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared. 9 plus 16, x squared is equal to 25, so x is equal to 5, which is going to be the same case up in here. So we have AC is equal to EC, and both of those lengths are 5. Now we have to go and check all of the angles. So first of all, I see a single arc on angle A, and I see a single arc on angle E. So I know angle A is congruent to angle E. In addition, I have a right angle here, and I have a right angle here. We know both of them are 90. So that lets us know angle B is congruent to angle D. And finally, these angles in here are vertical, so I can get those angles on my own to be congruent. So I would have angle BCA is congruent to angle DCE. So all three sides are the same length, all three angles are the same length, so my answer is yes, but I'm going to write this in the correct order. I have triangle A, B, C, and the order absolutely matters. Whatever I put first here has to correspond with angle A, which in this case is angle E. Then angle B is second, that's the right angle, that would correspond with angle D, and then finally that leaves angle C. Okay, you're done taking your notes. You're now going to get on MathSpace, and you have 20 questions to complete as your assignment.